Yo, it's your boy Yonko Cooley. Welcome back to the Toast Up Podcast. If you don't know what that means to open a sincere transformation upon people. In today's episode, we're going to be on episode 8. We're going to be talking about the subconscious maze, which means direction in life. But before we dive into the episode, I got somebody to introduce. It's my homeboy, another Isaiah on the show.
Yes, sir. In the flesh, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every time I see Isaiah on campus or whatever, he gives me so much positivity. So I'm excited to have you on the show, man.
Nah, for real. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me, for real.
So let me ask you, how you been?
Honestly, bro, I've been really good. Like, really, really good vibrations. I feel like I'm just on the right track of where I need to be going. Mm-hmm. So, like classes, my routine, everything it's been going smooth. So
okay.
Honestly, yeah, I've been doing good.
Okay, let me ask you this. I've been better than excellent nowadays, just because of always great. So let me ask you this. We're gonna, this is a warm up question. Do you think when you're born, your story is already written out for you? Like you can't control anything. God already wrote the story for your life.
Like pre-planned?
Pre-planned. Like everything that happens to you was already written. Like everything.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Why?
Personally, because I mean, this can go into just people's environments in general, and I think because once you put in, like into context of, is somebody's life already pre-planned just from where they're born and what their environment is and what their parents are and stuff, it kind of, I'm not gonna say it's a negative, but it's more of like it's harder to cope with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saying like, I already got all this stuff, pre-planned for me.
Yeah.
I like to think like every day is a new manifestation, is a new time, a new place. So I like to live a little bit more spontaneously than to think of it like that,
Okay, so do you have the mindset whereas everything happens for a reason?
Of course.
So basically that helps you stay positive.
Yes.
Okay. I know a lot of intellectuals in life and a lot of philosophers say, like, as soon as you're born, your story is already written. And truth be told, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I'm going to lean towards your answer, because certain things you don't know why it happens in your life. In certain situations, you're just like, you don't understand it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, I guess it molds you in a way. So this is going to follow to my next question.
Let's do it.
Right? So basically in life, right, do you think that the obstacles that are in your life, the plots, are for your narrative, for your story to reach your ultimate goal? Or do you feel like they're basically things that will hinder you to fail, to make you quit?
It's all based on perception. And my mentor always tells me, it's not failing is not the same thing as failure, because failure is more so like, of course you make a mistake, but it's more so a learning process, and it's only really a failure unless you like completely stop and it's just like, no, this isn't for me or whatever. But I just think, repeat your question for me, because
so all right, let me break it down for you.
Let's do it.
Hold on, because I wrote it in my notes. Hold on. Okay, so basically, do you think trauma in life interrupts the plot of your narrative, or are they just plots to help mold you to reach your ultimate goal in life?
Yeah, I think they're in place to mold you in order to get to where you really want to be in life, for sure. Because even just from the time of birth, our experiences and our understandings and our day-to-day interactions is definitely a huge factor into how, we perceive, how we interact, how what our goals are and everything.
Yeah.
It definitely has some quote unquote hindrance to it.
Yeah.
But it goes back to perception on how you take it.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you, because like you said in the beginning, everything definitely happens for a reason. But it's just certain things that it gets too hard, and it's only failure when you quit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like God put these obstacles for you to mold you, maybe not for your ultimate goal, but maybe it's someone else's journey that they need wisdom. So they don't want that person to go through it because maybe they can't survive that journey, but you can.
Right.
So your experiences in life may just be wisdom to give to your kids or to your friend or just your friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like you're saying, like even though we do have these hard times and everything, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative. It's more so putting you in a position to help other people along the way through your experience.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, because we all go through a lot, and I'm pretty sure you've been through a lot of things that most people haven't been through, vice versa. But that doesn't mean that some of the things you probably like, why God put me through this? Like this had nothing to do with what I wanted to do. But in essence, it's like maybe it's for someone else. Like when you get married, maybe your wife is going through something that she really needs to some type of empathy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you have to go through it to understand where she's coming from. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm coming from when it comes to that. Like everything that we go through in life happens for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. It's too specific. You know what I mean? Like these occurrences, because I was talking to my mom about this, and we were just talking about her life, her past, like how she had her kids and everything, and it was just crazy going along the road and seeing like she was like, I made a right instead of a left. I made a left instead of right, and just seeing like how it all comes into play and how many variables really make up life itself, and it's really complex, you know.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing at the smallest degree, honestly.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's get more personal. What's something that you went through whereas you felt like it was just in the narrative, but you didn't realize it was for you? But at the end of the journey, you was like, you know what? You told yourself, this is why I had to go through this experience to get to the ultimate goal.
Shoot, man. I think I could say like my parents not being together, because although they weren't together physically, my father always made sure that he was going to be in my life.
Yeah.
You know, like just reaching out, trips here and there. But I say that because them being separated gave me a chance to have so many more experiences and just so much more freedom towards life in general. You know what I mean? Without having, because they're both in the military and they're both like pretty strict. So I think like with both of them in the household, it would have been like impossible to have the experiences that I've had. But because that narrative and because the universe unfolded like that, it gave me so many opportunities to see so many different things and different interactions and different experiences just based off of like what I want to manifest and what I want to perceive, you know?
So that caused, right, your parents not being together physically, but just being great parents to you. Why do you think that narrative in your life, what do you think that's placed for in your future? Like you went through it, you understand, and you realize. So basically, it made you who you are today.
Right.
But what do you think is going to happen in the future for you to, you know, be the person you are today? In the sense of like you went through that to get here,
right?
But it's also another step,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that's the present. That's talking about more of the future now,
right? So when you ask that, it immediately makes me think of my shoes and obviously my future as well. But seeing how I was brought up and just making sure that because I saw how I grew up and because my awareness and my consciousness is just so like to the T, I can now navigate and move in my life to not make those same mistakes, obviously, but maybe tweak it and maybe improve it better than, because that's what really like life is like, you know. sad to say, but we all gonna die one day.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, but it's more so like, what are you gonna leave behind? What generational wealth or knowledge or understanding are you gonna leave to your offspring? You know, and that's really, I know that's a little deep, but that's really where my mind goes whenever you ask that question, because every little thing has something to do with who we are today.
Yeah, and that's deep because living in the moment is so important, and you just nailed it. You just nailed it, because now I want to follow up on my next question, because I heard you just say to me, you know, everybody's gonna die, so we definitely have to live in the moment. But let me ask you this:
Let's do it.
do you think certain ultimate goals that you have in your life, right, to get to where you want to be, do you think sacrificing or robbing your present for your future is important?
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get deep, baby. Yes, sir.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so elaborate on that.
That wordplay was nice.
Elaborate on that, though.
Robbing the present for the benefits of the future.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go back to the to the beginning of the conversation. We're just talking about perception, and stuff. It depends on how you rob the present. Is it righteous?
Okay.
Is it unrighteous? What are the intentions behind it?
Okay, I like that.
Where are you going with it? You know. So for me personally, yes, it's 100% fine to rob the present through righteousness, like, in order to make the future what you really want it to be.
For how long? How long can you rob yourself? We're talking about weeks? We're talking about years?
It depends.
Decades?
It really just depends on how bad you want it.
Yeah.
And how bad that desire is, because I know I was reading a book, I can't remember specifically, but it was talking about desires and how that's our, like, the overall spark to anything. Because if you really truly don't want it, like, in your heart, then, you know, it's not going to manifest, obviously. But yeah, that's really how I feel about it.
You ever heard of Napoleon Hill?
Yeah, of course.
He wrote the book Think and Grow Rich.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that when you write something down, you shouldn't worry about how it's going to happen, as long as you know the opportunities or work towards it? It like, it's inevitable. Like, do you think that's true?
In a way it's true, but at the same time, it's super important to read it over and over again. Obviously, not just because I think I was talking about this to somebody the other day, just about why it's so important to write things down, our goals, our objectives, our beliefs, and everything. Is because everything in this room right now is created non-physically in a way. Everything in existence was an intangible idea, but then came into fruition. This cup, this microphone, this table, you know? So, dang, where was I going with this?
Take your time.
Yeah, give me back on the right track.
Yeah, it was basically, I asked you, was, what was it? Damn. How we get on this?
I don't know.
Damn.
Because, I don't know, okay. Yeah.
Damn, what was it? Because you was going, I was listening. Basically, you were saying to me that it's okay to rob yourself for the present, as long as the benefits is what you want for your ultimate goal.
Right.
So you said to me something like something that was an intangible for once.
Right.
You will rob the present just so you can get to the ultimate goal, which can be it's like something that a tangible idea.
Right.
So I'm not sure where you were going with that. But let's just move forward. It'll come back.
Yeah,
it'll come back. So in life, do you think it's a such thing called purpose?
Yes. I think that we all came here for a reason.
Okay.
For sure. I don't think anybody that's here is like here on accident.
For the greater good, or sometimes to direct somebody else's life for them to get to the ultimate goal?
I think both exist.
For real?
Yes.
So you think God was like, you know what, I'm gonna make you a fucked up person so this person can get here?
I mean, it I don't know.
That's deep. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just like
deep. But I mean, if you just look in reality, there's a lot of people that do very negative things, you know, that do
Very negative
very,
things.
very messed up things.
Yes.
You know, we're talking about like child trafficking, human trafficking in general.
It's crazy.
It's just like,
But why? But why? That's my thing.
Right.
Like, that's my thing. It's like, why? Like, even slavery.
right.
Like, why?
Like, why?
Like, why?
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the purpose of those things? Like the Holocaust, slavery, sex trafficking. Like, why? Like, why do we need those life-changing, traumatizing things just so we can have something in our genes? Because let's
Right.
get back to slavery real quick.
Let's do it.
You know, being on your own and actually having some type of like passion or in soul, because I feel as though that we're the only race that has that more like that genetic, whereas like is everything has to do with the soul.
Right. Like we're just more
Jazz.
like, you know,
Dancing.
connected in a way. Right.
Yeah,
right.
like with our inner divine to keep our spirits up.
Like our self-expression.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has their own way.
Right.
Like individually, but as a whole entire race, like we have those like singing with like what is her name? She used to date Bobby Brown. Whitney Houston?
Was it Whitney Houston?
It was Whitney Houston? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? They gonna kill me for this one. They gonna kill me. I just like, but like Whitney Houston has so like a unique voice that you can't mock that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's no like, hey, like it's none of that. It's like you gotta speak from the soul, baby.
Yeah,
and
right.
that just goes to show you like purpose. Like for all, like, do you think everything has a purpose? No matter what it is, God put it on this earth or made it happen for an exact reason.
I do.
You do. That's just your
do.
philosophy.
Right. Because I mean it's here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's here. We deal with these things every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's no running from it. You know, at this point it exists. So I think not acknowledging it would just be putting ignorance towards the fact. And a lot of people do that because that's when you start getting the controversial topics.
Yeah.
That's when you start getting like pushing people's buttons and questioning their philosophies and stuff. And I think that's the problem, is that or where a lot of people get stuck up in is not taking that initiative towards, like, you know, challenging the normal day-to-day things that is projected on media and TV and things like that, and just not because they don't take that step, it's harder for them to find their purpose.
Yeah.
You know
okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're not facing any adversity. They're not facing any challenges. They're just running from them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was talking to a close friend, and he was just telling me his perspective on this question. He told me that, you know, it's God's way and you got the devil way. And they both have their list to basically this quote unquote temptation to take you off your path and surround you with negativity to mold you, but to also bring you down. Sometimes it's not God.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, do you think so? Like, do you think everything God puts you through is God, or do you think like sometimes like God want to test you, so He sends you to the devil? Or if you don't believe in, you know, Christianity, do you think the universe put you through those things to basically bring you down? Like negative energy, basically, because people say you are what you eat.
Right.
And if you surround yourself with negativity, or if you do bad things, it's karma.
Right.
And that's just universal terminology. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
do you think that's real? Like God's way, devil way. You are what you eat. If you put out positive energy into the universe, you'll get it. If you put out negative energy and nobody knows you're doing it but yourself, it'll catch up with you. Do you think
like
that's real?
Over time. Yes, because I just know the universe has very specific laws. And the basic one is every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Straight up.
Yeah.
Like me just saying that just made you react that way.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I do believe that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not, it doesn't really talk in words and in language and writing. It's really all symbolism towards certain things.
Okay.
You know? Dang, that was a deep question what you asked.
So
What do you think? It's just,
so let's just stay here because I feel like we got something deep. What are those symbols? What are those positive omens, those affirmations that the universe or God give us to know that we're doing the right thing? Or you're on the right track.
I think it's all around us.
So you think everything
has its own flow, has its own vibration, its own frequency.
Okay.
And I know what you just asked about, you know, about like the positive and negative aspect towards it. Of course there's going to be negative connotations towards certain things, but it takes a positive in order to make a negative. You know what I mean? And
no, elaborate on that.
The law of polarity, right?
Okay.
So that which what you are would not exist if what you are not did not exist.
Say that one more time.
So that with what you are, right?
Yeah.
Would not exist if what you are not, right? Like the opposite of you did not exist. Like hot, cold, dark, light, up, down, left, right, in, out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And without the other, there's no way you could be in fruition. There's no way that you could express yourself.
Balance.
Right. Exactly. Yin yang.
Yeah. Okay. Now I got you. I got you because I think in life that's so important to have that balance because you see a lot of people go over their head and a lot of people lose that humbleness that they first had. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, up, down, in, out, hot, cold, that all matters in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think you can tell by someone's eyes that they love you in your journey? Because you're going to meet a lot of fake people. You're going to meet a lot of authentic people. So how can you tell? Do you think by someone's facial expression or eyes that when they look at you, you can tell if you love them or not on your journey?
Yes. I say that because I know that when I look in my family's eyes, you know, but when we're talking about like relationship or somebody else that, you know, that isn't family, it's difficult because technically I can't even see you right now. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, let me.
I know. Go right here, bro.
I'll elaborate. So this goes back to what I was saying about earlier, like everything that exists right now in the physical was once intangible, was once non-physical.
Right.
So that, in a way, definitely coincides with us as well. And I'm a go straight into it. So whenever we die, right now, if you were to touch me, or if I touched you, I would be like, dang, you're warm. But you're not really warm. You're at what, 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever the case may be. But whenever we die, if you were to touch a dead body, you'd be like, dang, it's cold.
Yeah.
But it's not really cold. It's just room temperature. So what was the energy that was keeping it at 98 degrees Fahrenheit the whole time? Where does that energy go?
So you think that's the soul that's keeping you warm?
It has to be.
I see what you're saying because maybe it can be hot as hell in the room and you can be dead and you still gonna be. You think that person will still maybe? You see what I'm saying? Because it can be hot.
Right.
Once you dead,
it's not alive.
Well, maybe because your organs is not working the same way.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like maybe because since you dead, the brain can't process the energy for your organs to move the blood or to pump the blood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The correct way.
But regardless, there's an energy there. There's electricity there. And without that electricity, we're not able to move our bodies. There's it's impossible. You know what I mean? So the thing that leaves the body at the time of death, no one knows what that looks like, because that's the higher extensions of ourselves.
The higher consciousness or some shit. That's deep.
Yeah, it's deep. and that's how I be viewing like everything. So it's kind of hard to look in physical eyes,
Yeah.
and see if somebody loves you, because it goes through like action and consistency, and really just about like what you feel with that person, not necessarily just like what their eyes read, because eyes lie.
So you believe eyes lie?
Oh yeah.
Most people say eyes never lie. And I do agree with that.
I've seen some lying eyes before.
Before
yeah, you know, I definitely see some lying eyes before. Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's crazy.
I see what you're saying. I do. But I think it's how those eyes are during that time. Maybe that person was insecure or didn't feel comfortable being vulnerable enough to show you their soul, because they said once you look into a person's eyes, they're letting you in their soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if someone's telling me the truth, their eyes can't lie.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let me ask you this though, because this is the follow-up question. Can you lie without saying a word? Got it. Can you lie without saying the word? Deep. Because we
kind of, right? Kind of. Like,
okay. I like when people tell me their perspective before I tell them my perspective.
right. I would say kind of, because the thing that I immediately thought about was just like a relationship with you and another person, right? Or a girlfriend or something like that, and not having any communication, no verbal communication, only physical touch.
Okay.
Only physical being around in that sense.
So basically sensations.
Right.
How that person makes you feel, sensation, tasting.
Right. The smell, the aroma.
The smell, the way they make you feel.
Right. So so say we have two people that don't say a word to each other, but only express their love through physical language, and through all this time, like the intimacy, the consistency, the love of being around, but then just one day not showing up. Is that considered lying, or is that considered just
miscommunication?
Right. So that's where it kind of puts me in a little dilemma, because I think that's a good question.
Like for me, I spoke to my brother today, and he gave a great example. He was like, once you're married, you make those vows to never cheat, to be with each other through thick and thin, and then marriage gets hard, down the road, and you cheat, but you don't tell your wife. Did you lie?
Yeah,
you lied. Or if you, like, for an example, like it's not even like, okay, when your close friends come around. And y'all already know the code. Like, bro, don't be on no fake stuff. Like, I don't have to tell my close friends that, because the loyalty is already there.
Right.
But let's just say I do something messed up, or I know something that they should know, but I don't say anything, and I'm misguiding them. Am I lying to myself, being a good friend, or am I lying to them for them to make my perception fake? Like, in the way, whereas they look at me,
I think
how they did and me
beyond lying. If we're talking about that, because I think that's just like you said, misguidance. It's kind of like deviance in a way.
So what category would you place that under? Lying, manipulation?
I would place it under
evilness, wickedness,
selfishness.
Oh, okay. Elaborate on that. Why selfishness?
Because, man, like if you were to tell me, like, the people that are loyal to you and the people that are looking out for you genuinely, and you were to do something behind their back without acknowledging, their reactions and stuff like that, I think it's just, you got to have a real, like, I don't give a, can we cuss on here?
Yeah, bro.
It's
still yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we cuss on here? No. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I appreciate the respect. What if that friend doesn't like confrontation?
I think if that friend doesn't like confrontation, then that person is truly not comfortable with that friend group that they so claim that they're friends with. Because I mean, if you're truly comfortable and you truly trusted somebody, then it wouldn't be a problem, you know? So then that can go into maybe that person wanting to switch up friend groups and finding people that they are comfortable with, you know, expressing themselves. You shouldn't be scared to express yourself, like, you know? And if the group around you is suppressing that, then how do you expect to fulfill your purpose in life?
I do understand. So you feel as though that they have to be a certain way, basically secure with themselves,
Right, right.
and you won't even surround yourself with people that are insecure about themselves or are afraid of. Okay, everybody has their own insecurities, but to the point whereas they're not being the friend that you thought they were.
I think yes. I don't mind being around people like that, but after giving my advice and pouring myself out into them to help their situation, it's completely up to them after that
Okay.
to figure it out for themselves, because there's only so much I can do.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been using this analogy crazy, but you can bring a horse to a lake, but you can't force it to drink.
You're
you know?
external. Everything.
I'm internal.
No, I'm saying to them, you're external.
Oh, yeah.
Because they lack within.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's only so much I can do in order to help them see within.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, so this is my last question.
All right.
All right, and we're going to wrap this joint up.
Yeah, sir.
How important is it to control your own life to get to your ultimate goal?
Super.
To avoid that subconscious maze, that to get where you need to be, because sometimes we react to things because we lack that why, or why we're doing this. We lack that clarity within ourselves sometimes.
Right.
So how important is it to control your own fate, basically, to get to your ultimate goal, your life?
That's a gem for sure. Just the question in general, and the answer I have is it's very, very important, because once people start taking accountability and responsibility for, you know, the position that they're in life, there's no more really making excuses, because it's crazy that you asked that, because I feel like so much internal reflection has been done from last year, just 2020, understanding my position, where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, there's no more pointing fingers no more. Oh, I'm off.
No, it's cool.
But there's no more pointing fingers no more. It's more so just like looking. The hardest thing to do is look yourself in the mirror when you know, like, or I would say the most frustrating thing is looking in the mirror, knowing like you could do better, but you're not doing better.
Okay.
So now you have to look within to understand, like, yo, why am I here? Why is this happening? And how can I change those circumstances, you know? I was back to a conversation with my mom, because I was telling her how I moved throughout college and stuff. She's like, dang, that's a little selfish. Like, that's a little, I mean, I was just saying, like, power isn't necessarily making other people do stuff for you in your situation, but it's more so just how much control do you have over your own personal life, and what are you going to manifest, you know? So yeah, I think it's very important to
agree.
To guide it, man. Guide the ship.
Having control. Sometimes, you know, definitely, because you're a senior, right? This is your last semester.
Nah,
you a junior?
Yeah, second semester junior.
Yeah, okay. So once you graduate, you're going to understand how life really is, because most people will always have a boss. So it's kind of hard to get things started. Like, for an example, if you wanted to start singing, or if you wanted to start painting, and you have to work, or if you wanted to start a podcast or start your dream job, it's kind of hard to do that because you lack control.
Right. I see what you're saying.
You lack control. And sometimes that's within as well, because you made that decision for yourself. Like, I don't understand why people get so upset when they sign a piece of paper working $11 an hour. You literally signed that paper.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's your signature.
That's the signature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I do understand that sometimes you have to take care of your responsibilities. But there goes to show you that if you have more control of your life, and you have that freedom that you desire, then you can go ahead and take more risk.
Right. For sure.
You know?
And something that I heard is because even the people that do work these jobs, 9 to 5s or whatever the case may be, I'm not saying that's like a bad thing, but what I am saying is if you can't pre-plan your week, your month, your year, then you best believe someone else fucking is.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
best believe someone else is gonna write your schedule and
For
make sure
sure.
that you making profit for their organization.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So once you come into like acknowledgement of that, then there's your course. Where do you want to go? Do you want to keep on being ignorant to the fact that you're feeding into this matrix, this system, or do you want to go off on your own route and do your own thing because it doesn't matter what nobody else says?
Yeah, basically the maze. So I'm gonna end the show on that. Thank you for coming, bro. You want to shout anybody out?
I want to shout me out. You know what I'm saying?
It's yourself first. I feel that.
Nah, but I'll shout out to family, shout out to friends,
Yes, sir.
shout out life, shout out the universe, shout out the black woman, shout out the white woman, shout out everyone. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Vibes.
Okay. Let me do the toast segment. Hold your cup. Hey, man. Toast to you, your future, man. I hope that it seems like you're on the right path to find that direction to get out this maze they call life, and it's definitely kind of hard. It's very hard, but continue to persevere through anything. Continue to express yourself and be you, and I'll see you on the other side. Toast to your achievements, bro.
Likewise,
Toast up, bro. Love,
man.